Hello and welcome to Re-enthused. Today we are playing R-Type, the complete version on the Super CD, the PC Engine Super CD. It's called the complete version because originally when R-Type was released on the TurboGrafx PC Engine, it was released as two separate cartridges, so there was R-Type 1 and R-Type 2, where they basically just split the whole game in half. At the time it was said because of the size of the disc, the size of the cartridges couldn't fit the whole game, although there's been much bigger games that have been released on the Hue cards, so how true that was we don't know, but eventually they released the CD version, and the CD version is in fact the whole game, and it's quite a good conversion. If you haven't played R-Type, it's one of the archetypal scrolling shoot 'em ups. It's a horizontal shoot 'em up by Irem, and it's mine, and I imagine quite a few people's favourite shoot 'em ups. It's just it set the guidelines for so many of its the games that followed it. Anyway, so yeah, we have that little intro sequence because this is a Super CD, and therefore you have to add this stuff in. Some of this did exist in the original game, it's not all brand new, they've just kind of improved it and increased it. Right, so here we go. So there's two, there's our ship. So we can do this, rapid fire. And just turn the PC Engine by default or as standard comes with turbo fire, so you can't have that on for this game. The reason being, you have to, if you hold the bullet down, you can fire off like a super bullet. Not if you get yourself blown up. Right, there's a lot to explain there. So you'd have seen the little orb thing that popped up when I shot a certain thing. That's because you can have add-ons to the ship, obviously you pick power-ups up. But more importantly, there's the first power-up you get will kind of attach to your ship as like a little module, and you can put it onto the front or back and attach it if you want to change where it goes. And you're pretty much invincible whichever side it's on. But don't get shot the side it's not on. So yeah, so you can use it strategically and put it at the front or back. It's especially good if you have it on the back and then pick up a shooting power-up, then you'll be able to fire at both sides effectively, which is pretty good. Now, the one thing R-Type does suffer from, which a lot of shooters of this kind do, is if you get a long way through the level and then die, you no longer have any power-ups and you are basically dead. Right, so there you go, so we've attached it to our front. Now I have to make sure this guy, there we go, we got him this time. Right, ooh. Well, that wasn't very good. Yeah. Right, there's no point continuing, that was the first level, so we'll kind of speed through this and we'll go on. We'll at least try to get to the first kind of big bad guys, which isn't a boss, it's just like a mid-level thing. Right. Fortunately, you can skip the cutscene on this one, which is not always a thing on the Super CD games. Okay, so if you power this up and you position it right, you can get rid of like whole streams of these guys. It's not, yeah. So I'm making this look a lot harder than it is. It's not not easy, but it's certainly not the hardest shoot 'em up going. Different versions don't have the same bad guys. Like They don't have the big guy who finished me off a couple of times with fire with bolts. They usually come in a bit later on most versions. So this, I'd say this is probably the closest to the arcade, this version. It certainly looks like it, and the music as well. Oh no, I need you. No, okay. Things aren't good. They give you a lot of opportunities. So there you go. So now we've got the laser. The laser's nice because the laser just bounces everywhere. So here's kind of one of the first big bosses, so that we can get rid of this one nice and quickly. There we go. You shoot its eye, and it dies, and then I kind of wander into it and kill myself. So that's good. Well, now we're going to see the problem with dying. Is that I've got this far, and I don't have any power-ups at all. I don't even have... Oh, that's not good. That wasn't good. No, I've not done well there. Yeah, so without having anything to defend you from bullets, yeah, you're in deep trouble. Right, that's better. We've done much better this time. We haven't been forced to go into here and be surrounded. Okay, that was just a speed up. That's not helped. Now we get our little buddy back. No laser, because unfortunately that's the second update, and now we can take this out nice and quick though. And this time we don't back into it. So this is kind of the problem. Like I say, oh, it's a little bouncing bomb, these are good. However, if you just die immediately, then you don't get to show that. That just kind of sits on top of your ship and you can hit things. So yeah, it's R-Type. If you've never played this, then you definitely should. It's an excellent shoot 'em up. It still holds together now. It's fairly frantic, especially in the PC Engine TurboGrafx version. There's a lot of characters and bad guys on screen at once. I highly recommend it. Any version, in fact, I think most of the versions were good. So whichever version you can get hold of, play it. Especially the arcade version. The arcade version is amazing. Right. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't like the video or you've got a comment, then leave it below. Now, as I'm recording this, which means this will not date at all, our Kickstarter for the Gaming of the Obscure book is currently almost funded. So I think we're down to £30 away from the goal, which is amazing. It's definitely going to be funded by the end of today. But it's another 22 days left running on it. If you do want a copy of the book, it's a lovely coffee table style book, which means it's mostly pictures. There's lots of high-res pictures of just less well-known consoles and a few games, but obviously they've been taken off of the hardware because our main goal on this was we were only going to include machines that we actually owned, and therefore we wanted to get the screen grabs of games off of the machine. So some of these games do not look so good in big print, but I think that's part of the charm. So we've tried to do no post-processing on these photos of the games, and so yeah, they are what they are. But I think it looks amazing, but I'm biased. So yeah, if you can back it, then please do so, or share it if you can as well. And yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye.
未確認の宇宙放射線がキャッチされました。前から気になっていた聖域内でかなりの規模の爆発反応があったのか。